hope you're having a pleasant day wherever you may be. I'm currently at one of the 7 wonders of the world. The railroad world, that is. I'm at the Tehachapi Loop. The Tehachapi Loop is located in the Tehachapi Mountains, about 14 miles west of the town of Tehachapi. So what exactly is the Tehachapi Loop? Well, it is a small portion of the 70-mile rail line between Bakersfield, California and Mojave. When the railroad reached Bakersfield in 1874, there was still no link between Northern and Southern California. So the Southern Pacific Railroad decided on a route through the Tehachapi Mountains, a small transverse range at the southern end of the Sierra Nevadas, to connect Bakersfield and Mojave. Now, just thinking about the idea of getting from the Central Valley in Northern California to Southern California, my little bit of knowledge, this is probably the easiest route, because what are your other options? The Coast Ranges, the Grapevine, there's really not a lot of options. Construction lasted from 1874 to 1876. It was completed in just under 2 years, primarily by Chinese labor with just basic hand tools and dynamite, pretty much, which wasn't easy because these mountains are primarily made up of granite. Now, as for the loop in particular, it is the brainchild of Southern Pacific engineer William Hood. Now, not train engineer, but like building stuff engineer. And it really is an engineering marvel. It maintains a 2.2% grade on its way down. Trains are not like cars. They can't go on very steep paths. As far as I know, they can kind of max out at about 3%, but that's not very few and far between. So it kind of doubles around on itself, and in the span of less than 3/4 of a mile, there's an elevation change of 77 feet, which is pretty impressive for a train. On the line, there is a total of 18 tunnels that were built, and the tunnel here at the loop is tunnel number 9 because it's the 9th one built coming from Bakersfield. Now, because it is such a short loop and there's the tunnel that it goes underneath itself, a train that is over 4,000 feet long will actually go under itself. So far, I've been here for a couple of hours. I've seen several trains. I think almost every single one of them has actually gone over itself. Now, this was a difficult route, so they built a lot of water towers for the steam engines. Driving up, I've seen several of these pylons. I think these used to be water towers. However, I'm not positive, but it is dated 1929. That would have been right in the middle of the steam era. Once the line was opened, it quickly became one of the more heavily used ones. It's still used very frequently to this day. It was built by Southern Pacific, who ran their trains here up until the mid-90s when they merged with Union Pacific, and I've noticed a lot of BNSF trains while I've been here, and that's because there's an agreement between the railroads that BNSF can use the track as well. The loop partially goes around a little peak. At the top of the peak, there's a little white cross, and that's in memoriam of a train crew that died in 1989, I believe, over in nearby Cajon. Now, in terms of its designation as one of the 7 wonders of the railroad world, as far as I can tell, there's no actual list, there's no actual designation. I think it's just one of those phrases you use to designate that something is a remarkable achievement, in this case, engineering. Now, this is probably one of the most well-known railfan spots in the country. I'd probably, might even throw it on the Mount Rushmore, along with like Horseshoe Curve in Altoona, maybe even Cajon. That's a pretty well-known one too. But yeah, this one's pretty up there, top 10 for sure. And it's understandable why, because not only is it an appreciation of an engineering feat, but it's also a very gorgeous setting. The hills are very picturesque. The trains going by, they're usually going pretty slowly. Kind of take time to just kind of watch them slither through the countryside. It's really a gorgeous area. Now, as far as visiting here, it's actually very simple. As you can see, just behind me is Highway 58. And to get to the overlook here, it's only about 3 miles on a little windy road. It has a plaque, it's got some information about the history and how it's an engineering marvel, things like that. While you're visiting here, you can just stop at the side of the road, read the plaque at the overlook, and get a great view and be content. But if you want to invest into a 5-10 minute walk. There's a little dirt path that leads off the road. There's a gate, but I don't see any no trespassing or anything. As a matter of fact, there's even like a little picnic table there, so I think they anticipate people spending some time there to watch the train. So you get some real nice views. You could even see the tunnel number 9 from one of the spots. Really nice little viewing area. The one thing is, it's really windy here. Tehachapi Pass is kind of known for its wind. There's a wind farm not too far from here. Now, I've been here for a couple of hours now. I've noticed that the trains come through about every half hour, 45 minutes or so. It's a Sunday, so I'm guessing the traffic's a little less than it would be on a weekday. With that said, I've seen probably 5 or 6, maybe 7 trains while I've been here. And I've also seen various people, lay people, not necessarily rail fans, just coming up, usually park, wait for a train to go, and then they take off. But I was trying to get different angles and all that. That's why I've been here as long as I've been. Plus, I mean, it's pretty beautiful. Now, if you're really so inclined, I think there's some a couple other spots that you can find that get you different angles of the loop. However, just be careful. There's a lot of private property around here. Matter of fact, one of them even has a sign. They probably get so many people that are trying to get onto their land, or that think that that's the overlook, because it even says, nope, the overlook's that way. Now, as far as a little personal perspective here, I think most of you have picked up that I do have an interest in trains, and I appreciate you indulging me here. But this is my second time visiting Tehachapi. The first time was actually on the tracks. I was aware of a Coast Starlight detour, and I decided to book a trip, and I got to ride the train going through the loop. It was pretty cool. I had never been, but like I said, I appreciated the history and things, so that's why I booked it. Well, that does it for this one. Thanks for joining me on this trip to Tehachapi Loop, and thanks for indulging me in my affinity for rail fanning. I hope you found it interesting, I hope you found it entertaining, and I guess I'll see you on the next one.